In today's lecture, basically we are going to discuss problem decomposition search techniques. So there are two major techniques that we are going to discuss. One is EOSTAR algorithm, which we are going to discuss in today's lectures, and second technique is RETE matching algorithm, RETE, RETE matching algorithm. So both these search techniques, they come under the category of problem decomposition search. Now this is also informed search or heuristic search. We have been discussing heuristic search techniques. So in this unit number 5, which we are going to start from today, we will be discussing two major techniques or two major algorithms, EOSTAR algorithm and RETE matching algorithm. Such algorithms are used for solving complex problems. We have seen, to solve complex problems, one of the technique widely used, that is problem decomposition or divide and conquer technique. If problem is complex, then we divide it into several sub-problems. We solve those sub-problems because they are easily manageable. Tackle those sub-problems separately, right? And then we gather all those solutions together and arrive at the final solution. In heuristic search algorithms or informed search algorithms, we use appropriate heuristic function at every, that means at every node, and that heuristic value returned at that node by heuristic function guides the search, or that helps us our task or arrive at the solution quickly. Okay, so we have started with hill climbing search algorithm, and variations of hill climbing search algorithms we have discussed. That is simulated annealing algorithm, that is a local search algorithm like hill climbing search algorithm. In addition to that, steepest ascent hill climbing search algorithm. Then modified version of this algorithm, that is best first search algorithm. All these algorithms, as we have seen, that they use knowledge at every stage to carry out the search, and that knowledge is represented in the form of a number at every node. So that number tells you how far you are from the current node to the goal node. So that number represents a cost. Basically it's a cost to reach to the goal node from that node. So we have denoted that heuristic function as Hn. N is a node, H means heuristic. Heuristic function node N, or value returned by this heuristic function at node N. For example, if S is starting node and if there are three successor nodes A, B and C, we apply this H of A out here. So H of A, that means heuristic function H applied at node A. Suppose this value is 7, so we assign value 7 with this node A. So that tells us that to reach to the goal from node A, the cost is 7, or efforts required are 7. When we model all these problems as minimization problem, because always you have to reduce the cost, right? Now so far whatever search problems we have discussed, all these problems, they work on OR kind of search space. What is OR kind of search space? Now consider this state space graph. This graph tells us that you can reach to the goal from node A or node B or node C. That means you can go either of this way. Only the cost required will be different. Some node will reach you to the goal quickly than other nodes. But all these are the solution paths. For example, now let us consider this graph. Suppose this node is node D, E, F. Then the question is how many partial solution paths exist on this search space. For this search space, or what are the solution paths? Instead of how many, what are the solution paths? Yes, hurry up.
From A to D.
Pooja, Solution path. Tell me complete path.
Yes.
SAD.
Yes.
S-A-T, right?
SBE.
S-B-E.
SBF.
S-B-F.
SC.
S-C, right. Correct. There are 4 different partial solution paths. You can go to the goal through a SAD or SBE or SBF or SC. Correct. So such a search space is called as OR type of search space, or such a graph is called as OR graph. Why this name is given? Because all these arcs, they are OR type of arcs. As there is a you can reach to the goal through SA or SB or SC. From A there is a path to D, from B to E or F. So or I am saying every time. Therefore such a graph is called as OR type of graph. So far whatever techniques we have discussed, these techniques works on OR type of graphs. But when we use problem decomposition technique, sometimes it is necessary to solve more than one or more than one subproblems at a time. So some of the subproblems you can solve by solving several subproblems together, and then you gather those results. That's how that particular subproblem will be solved. So such arcs where you will have to consider multiple, or you will have to solve multiple subproblems to solve the parent subproblem, that is called as AND type of subgraph or AND type of arc, which is denoted by something like this. Okay. So what is meaning of this? From B you can go to E as well as F, but to solve this B you will have to solve E as well as F. E and F both are necessary, unlike OR, to solve this B. So if you want solution to B, I should have solution to E and solution to F. Such a arc is called as AND arc. And such a graph where we have OR type of arcs as well as AND type of arcs is called as AND OR graph. Okay, so this AO star search will work on AND OR graph. Now before going into AO star search or what changes we will have to make, first we will understand what is problem decomposition. So basically you are going to see it's a planning method which tells you how best to solve problem that can be recursively decomposed into subproblems in multiple ways. Again I am repeating, problem decomposition is a planning how best you can solve a problem that can be recursively decomposed into subproblems in multiple ways. We will see examples of this. Okay, so far before this, whatever techniques we have discussed, they worked on OR type of graphs, through which we want to find out a single path to the goal, right? Such a structures represent that how to get from a node to the goal if we can discover how to get from that node to the goal along any one of the branches leaving it. For example, from S you can go to A or B or C. So there are three different ways you can go from A to the goal node. From B there is only one way, because this is AND type of arc. You have to tackle this as well as this, although there are two, but it is not OR. You will have to do both. So this is a single path. From A there is one path. From C right now there is no path. So such a AND OR graph type of tree, this is called as AND OR tree, is useful for representing the solution of problems that can be solved by decomposing that problem into set of smaller problems. All of these subproblems which must be solved. This decomposition is also called as reduction. So therefore in some books you will find out such a techniques are called as problem reduction techniques that generate arcs that we call AND arcs. One AND arc may point to any number of successor nodes, then all of which you should solve in order for the arc to point to a solution. For example, from B there are two ways, through E as well as F, but to solve this B you must solve E as well as F. So this problem decomposition approach basically have three different substeps. One is we divide the problems into various subproblems, then find out solution for those subproblems separately. Finally we arrive at the final solution to the original problem. Let us see this example. For example, here P is the goal that you will have to achieve, or you can say in our usual terms starting state, or P is a problem that you have to solve. To solve this problem P, you can go through this path or this path. There are two ways now, right now here. One is through Q and R and another one is through S. So from P there are two paths. One is to P, from P to Q and R, another one is from P to S. So to solve this P, there are two different ways. This is first and this is second. If you go through this, you must solve this Q as well as R. To solve this Q, you will have to solve either T or U, because this is OR type of R. To get the final solution P, to solve this Q, either T or U, and you should solve R also. So you are going to solve this Q and R to solve this P. To solve this Q, either you will have to solve T or U, or there is second way, you can solve this S. This is OR type of R, so this is second way. Okay, such a graph is called as AND/OR graph. So this, let us go back to problem decomposition. Problem decomposition is also or AND/OR graph is also called as goal tree. We know that for solving a problem, we have to reach to the goal. Several questions are framed and solutions are given. That means there are several different ways through which you can reach to the goal. Every solution is considered as a node. In the graph we have seen, for example, if it is something like this, starting node as A, B and C, this is AND. So here you will have to solve A. So this is a solution, maybe partial solution. So we call this as a node. B is also a solution, specifically partial solution. We call this B as a node. Okay, each time this node is verified whether it is a goal node or not. That's what we do in all search algorithms, and once we reach to the goal, then we algorithm returns the solution. When there are difficulties in this approach, goal trees are constructed with AND/OR tree. Already we have discussed this. Sometimes you will have to solve sub problems together. So if that is the requirement, we model that as a AND type of subgraph. So this AND/OR type of subgraph will contain AND nodes, OR nodes, AND arcs and OR arcs. Now this is OR arc and this is AND arc. I will change the color. Come to this. This is AND arc. Okay, and this is OR arc. If nothing is there, that means that is a OR arc. So AND/OR graph will contain AND type of node. Now what is AND type of node? What are AND type of nodes in this subgraph?
A and D, B.
A and B.
A, B, right. OR type of node?
B, C.
C.
B or C.
Right, C node. Correct. So what we do, problems are drawn in the type of goal tree by framing questions like whether one has to do this or that or both. That's how modeling is done. If we say that this has to be done as well as that work also has to be done, or A task has to be performed and B task also has to be performed, then we model that as AND type of node. Okay, and if we come to know that or C has to be tackled or C has to be solved, then we will model that C as a OR type of node. And if this is how if we proceed, then we arrive at a solution. For example, come out here, A and B, if we solve this both, then that will solve node S. Okay, that means your problem, if S is the problem S is solved. If I solve this C, which is OR node connected to S, then S will be solved, right? So either this way or this way. There are two different ways. Original problem S gets solved. Sub problems are A is a sub problem, B is a sub problem, and C is also a sub problem in this case. Okay. Now come to this example again. Now what this graph tells you? This graph tells us that there is a problem P which you will have to solve. Your goal is solving problem P. That means solve this P. Now you will have to solve this P because suppose complex by using problem reduction technique, whatever may be the technique. We will just right now understanding how to model that in the form of AND OR graph. So to solve this P, you need to solve Q and R. So we will denote that in this way. We will connect this Q and R together by this AND type of R. But P can be solved by, this is given to you. From the problem we come to know this knowledge. This is given. P can be solved if you can solve S. So therefore OR type of arc out here. So you can reach to P through Q and R. Or second way is you can solve P if you can solve this S. Okay. If you can solve this S, you can also reach to P. Now to solve P, you need to solve Q and R. But to solve Q, now you will have to solve Q. You need to solve T. Okay. So therefore, if you have to solve this Q, you will have to solve T. That is given from the problem. But to solve this Q also there is another way through U. So you can solve this Q by solving this U also. So how many solution paths are there so far? Partial solution paths. What are those paths? One is through P and Q and R. So you will have to solve Q as well as R. And to solve this Q, one way is you can solve T. Okay. Another possibility is to solve this P, you can solve Q and R, but this Q can be solved by
U.
solving U also, right? There are two different ways, therefore two different partial solution path, P, Q and R, and from P, Q to T. One another way is P, Q and R, and this Q can be solved by solving U also. Second possibility is P can be solved by using S. Okay, so this is partial solution path. This P can be solved by S. So right now there are three different solution paths. Now what you can observe from this? Anybody has noted anything from this solution? The way solution looks like? This is one solution. Second, third way to reach to the solution. What can you observe from this? Any observation you could make? If you compare this with previous algorithms, what can we say about the solution?
In
Yes,
in previous graph, there are four partial path, and in an OR graph, there are three partial path.
uh, okay, but since here the requirement is to solve this P, you have to solve Q and R both. So your requirement has changed. Okay, therefore that difference is there. I am talking about from algorithm point of view. What change you have noted out here? The change is, in previous algorithms, solution was a simple path from one node to the other node. If it's an AND OR graph search or problem reduction search, your solution will be a tree, not, because there are AND type of arcs also. For example, this is one of the solution path. So you are going from P to Q as well as R. So if you redraw this, it is something like this. What is this? This is a tree, right? In earlier examples, earlier algorithms, techniques, solution was a path because there were only OR type of arcs. Path something like this. For example, P, Q, T. So you will have to just store this path. Algorithm will return this such a type of path, or P, R. But in this case, Q and R both have parent P. So this is a tree. It's not a simple path. So in problem reduction search, algorithm will return solution in the form of a tree. That is the another difference. Okay? Understood up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In your book, one example is given for this, Rich and Knight's book for problem reduction. Like if your goal is to acquire a TV, not very good example. acquire a TV set. If you want a TV, there are how many ways are there? Two ways out there they have shown. One is you earn money, right? Then how you will get a TV? You will have to buy a TV, right? You buy TV. So just by earning money, will you get a TV? No. If you earn money, along with that you will have to buy. If you don't buy, you will not have money. You will not have TV. So this is an type of art. You earn the money and buy TV. Second way is you steal a TV. That's why I said not very good example. Steal TV. Either this or this. If you go through this, there are two different subtasks. One is you will have to earn money, and second one is you will have to buy a TV set. Such a representation is and/or graph representation. Okay. This example is given in Rich and Wright's book. Now to understand this is detail from implementation point of view, let us consider the example of matrix multiplication. Example is matrix multiplication problem. Suppose we have set of matrix A1, let we have A1 matrix, A2 matrix up to matrix AN. So we have this set of matrix. Suppose we have to find out multiplication of all this, that is A1 multiplied by A3 up to AN. How this can be done? This can be done in different ways. Now for simplicity purpose, we will reduce this problem to only 4 matrix. Suppose we have only 4 matrix: A1, A2, A3 and A4, and you have to multiply this 4. How this can be done? This can be done in different ways. At a time all 4 you cannot multiply, so I can do that in this way. I will multiply A1 and A2 together, right, and result of this with A3. Okay, this is multiplication, and multiply result obtained in this with A4, right? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
What is another way? Anybody can, by following the rules of matrix multiplication. This is one way. Second way is hurry up. Second way is
A1 A2 cross A3 A4
yes, A1,
A2
A1,
A2
A,
to multiply by A3 A4.
A1, A2 first. That means
Yes.
so A1, A2 first, then multiply A3, A4, and then multiply result of this A1, A2 with result of A3, A4.
A4.
In this way,
Yes.
correct. Third way is Anybody else? Follow the rules of matrix multiplication. Another way,
First multiply A3 and A4.
A3 and A4, okay. Then
Then by A2
with
with this combination.
result of A3 and A4, right?
Yes. Then
Then correct.
A1.
A1 with result of multiplication of this A2, A3, A4. This way. So there are three different ways right now. Here we have shown same task you can perform in different ways. Now we can put this in the form of AND OR graph. We will put it in the form of AND OR graph. We will consider, for example, I will erase all this. Now all these four matrix A1, A2, A3 and A4. So one way, one of you have told me that you have to multiply A1 and A2, then A3 and A4. Okay, both this. So I will show this by AND arc. Okay, A1 and A2, A3 and A4 independently. So I will write this node as A1 A2 node. What this node will represent? Multiplication of A1 A2. This node A3 A4. Then we will multiply this together. Okay. So what this node will represent? This is again, we will combine this result of this multiplied with this. So this will tell me A1,
A2, A3,
A2,
A4.
A3, A4, multiplication of this 4. Okay, this is how. Now what is this? This is a AND OR graph.
And graph.
Yes, all nodes are AND type of nodes, so AND graph. Okay, correct. I will make it AND OR graph. Another way of doing the same thing is I will solve A1, A2, A3 and here A4, but this cannot be done directly. Will perform A1 and A2. Okay, this is A3 and A1 and A2 requires your input A1 and A2. Both this have to be done. Both this have to be done together. Okay. So what we will do? We will multiply A1 and A2 first. Then result of that we will multiply with A3. So you will get A1, A2, A3 and multiply this result with A4. So here you will get A1, A2, A3, A4 multiple. So you will get solution either through this path or through this path. Okay. There are two different ways you will get the solution. This can be drawn in this way. You can draw all this downside also, like this and like this. Okay, this is one, this is second way. What is this node? This is multiplication of A1, A2 A3 and A4, all these 4 together. So either this or this. So now this is complete AND OR graph. Okay, understood up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Suppose we have, now I assume that you knew all this. A1 is of size n by m. To multiply A1 with A2, the requirement is number of columns of this A1 should be equal to number of rows of A2. So this should be m here,
M.
multiplied by k, for example. Okay, what is this n? Number of rows of matrix A1, number of rows of matrix A1. M denote number of columns of matrix A1. In A2, number of rows are m, and in number of columns are k. Okay, so what should be the dimension of multiplication of A1 and A2?
N by K.
Right, n by
K.
k. So dimension of A1 A2 will be n by k. We will assume that complexity of finding multiplication A1 A2 is proportional to number of multiplications that you are performing. Let us listen this carefully. How many efforts you will have to put in to multiply two matrix, that is proportional to number of multiplications you are performing. Okay, if number of multiplications are more, then more time will be required to multiply those matrix. So always our intention will be to reduce number of multiplications. Why I am telling this to you? The reason is, now there are, here we have seen two different ways of multiplying this 4 matrix. So which one you should prefer? How you are going to decide that? We are going to decide that by using some knowledge, heuristic information, and that heuristic information will be how much efforts you will have to put in if you go through A or if you go through solution B. Now amount of efforts required to multiply matrix, that is directly proportional to how many multiplications you are going to perform. You, of course, you will have to perform additions also, but addition time is very small as compared to multiplication time. So for our simplicity purpose, we will remove that addition time. We will only consider multiplications time. For example, if I have matrix A 1 1 1 1 and matrix B 2 2 2 2, if we are multiplying these two, so how we find out this first element? We take first row, first column, we multiply individual elements and add those sums, right? So how we do that? 1 multiplied by 2 plus
Yes, 1 by 2.
1 by
1 multiplied by 2.
multiply by
2.
So this comes out to 2 plus 2.
4.
So this element will be 4. So how many multiplications you have performed to get one element, first element?
2.
2 multiplications
multiplication.
and 1 addition, but amount of time required to perform multiplication is quite high as compared to addition. So we will only consider multiplications. Now come over here. How many multiplications you will have to perform to multiply A1 and A2 out here? This is 2 by 2. This is 2 by 2. Hello? Yes?
8.
n plus m plus k.
A1 is of size dimension n by m, A2 is of dimension m by k. So how many multiplications are required to multiply A1 and A2?
Addition of both.
No, hurry up.
n by 2 into n by 2.
Another answer.
N into m plus m into k.
Any other answer? Suppose this matrix.
M cube.
Wait. 2 by 3, and this is of 3 by 4. Of course, we can multiply this. Okay, you manually try to find it out. You will find out that is n multiplied by m multiplied by k. Come over here. Your n, m and k are 2 to 2. So 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. So that is 8. For each element you need 2. There are 4 elements, 8 multiplications. If your size is 2 by 3 and 3 by 4, so number of multiplications required will be 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4, that is 24. Verify this. Okay. Later on you verify this number. Right now, number of multiplications required to multiply two matrix A1 and A2 with dimension n by m and m by k are n multiplied by m multiplied by k. Okay. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Easily you can verify this. Now how many rows are there? Here there are 2 rows. And how many columns are there? 3 columns.
3 columns.
Here there are 3 rows, 4 columns. To get a single element in this multiplication, how many multiplications we have to perform? This row multiply by this column. So here how many elements are there? In first row 3 elements are there. Okay, 1, 2 and 3. Here how many elements are there? First column
3.
3.
3.
Okay, how many multiplications will be there then? 3. This with this, second with second,
9.
third with third.
Third.
Okay. Multiplications I am saying.
9.
First row, first column. In first row there are 3 elements. In first column again 3. So 3 multiplications will be there. In this resultant matrix, how many elements will be there? What will be size of that matrix? 2 by 4.
18.
2 by 4. Okay. So 8 elements are there. Okay. Am I right?
Yes.
8 elements will be there. Result of this multiplication.
Yes, sir.
For each element, how many multiplications you have performed? 3. This element with this, second with second, third with third. Addition we are ignoring. Okay. So 8 elements and for each element you need 3 multiplications, so therefore there will be 24 multiplications, and this is also 24. This is how you can verify that. Any question up to this?
No, sir.
No, why I am telling this? Okay, I will remove all this again. If suppose we have to solve this matrix multiplication problem with problem decomposition, we will again more simplification we will do. Only 3 matrices are there. Suppose A1, we have A1, A2 and A3. Let we have this 3 matrix. A1 is of size 3 by 4, dimensions are 3 by 4. A2's dimensions are 4 by 10. A3 dimension 10 by 1. Can we multiply these 3 together? First question.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
A1,
Yes, sir.
okay. Now this multiplication I can do it in 2 different ways. What is our goal? I have to multiply A1 with A2 and with A3. So what we will do, we will write an algorithm. That algorithm will find out multiplication of these 3 matrices in efficient manner. Although there are multiple ways, algorithm will give you a solution, and that solution will tell you, yeah, you follow this particular multiplication sequence, efforts required will be minimum. That is our goal. So A1 and A2, A1, A2, A3 can be done in 2 ways, as we have seen. First way is you multiply A2, A3 first and multiply that result with A1. I will write it in this way. Multiply A2, A3 and multiply that result with A1. So A1 here and A2, A3 multiplication, we will denote it in this way. This is A1, this is A2, A3. This is one way we can do that. What is another way? You multiply A1 and A2 first and then result of that with A3. So A1, A2 multiplication do first. A1, A2, A3 input as it is. Okay, now we will assign heuristic value with every node, and that value how you are going to calculate, depending upon number of multiplications you have to perform to get that particular matrix. Again I am repeating. Now we will assign value with every node returned by heuristic function. Function is, that function will calculate amount of number of multiplications required to perform or to get that matrix. So how many multiplications are required to get A1? To get A1, how many A1 is directly given to you. So how many multiplications?
0.
0, correct.
0.
No multiplication you have to. To perform A2, A3, this 2 you have to multiply. So how many multiplications are required?
40.
How you have
40.
calculated?
4.
4 into 10 equals to 1.
4 into 10 into 1, correct.
1.
So what I will do, I will assign heuristic value 40 with A2 and A3, correct. Here, what will be dimensions of result of this multiplication A2, A3? Dimension
4
of this
by
matrix? 4 by 1,
4
correct.
by 1.
This will be 4 by 1, and A1 is 3 by 4. Come over here. What will be the value associated with A1, A2? That means how many multiplications are required to perform A1, A2?
30.
120.
120.
120.
120, correct. How we have calculated that value? 3 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 10,
10.
10.
right? For A3,
0.
0,
0.
correct. So values now will help us to guide the search. Now come to this node A1 multiplied by A2, A3 result. What will be the dimension of this first?
3 by 1. 1.
A2, A3 is 4, okay, 3 by 1, correct. And what cost will be associated with this?
12. 12.
With this node? 12. How you got the 12?
3 into 4 into 1.
3 into 4
4
into
into
1. So, actually this is n type of arc. Both this has to be solved to get this. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
To get this, you will have to solve this as well as this. So cost associated with this node will be cost to multiply this as well as the cost of this. Already you have put that cost. What is this cost? 40.
40.
So 12 plus 40, that will be the cost associated with this node. What is that? 52. So this value is 52. Because what this node is telling, this node is multiplying A1 with A2 and A3. So at this stage, efforts required are cost with as well as cost with this. To multiply this 2, cost is 12. To multiply A2, A3, cost is 40. So cost associated with this path is now 52. What about, now come to this. This is also AND. What will be the cost associated with this node now? Or how many multiplications are required to perform A1, A2 with A3? What are the dimensions of A1 and A2 first? First complete this. This is
3 by 10.
right.
3. 3 by 10.
A3 10 by 1.
1.
So this dimension of this total result is
3 by 1.
3 by 1.
3 by 1. This is also 3 by 1. Cost associated with will be this cost plus cost of multiplication of this with this, A1, A2 with A3. So 120 plus
30.
30. How? 3 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 1.
10.
That is 30. Correct. So this cost is 30 plus 120. Because this is AND. Right? Both costs you have to add. So that is 150. Now this is important from our point of view. If you go through this, cost required is 52. If you go through this, cost required is 150. So which path you are going to follow?
Path 1.
First.
Right, this path. This is a better path because this is less than this. Cost required is less. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now this is what problem reduction technique is. This matrix multiplication problem you can solve by using problem reduction technique, by dividing that or by representing that problem in the form of AND OR graph. Such a problems which are decomposable can be solved by using AO star or RT algorithm kind of mechanisms. So I hope that you have understood what is this problem decomposition principle. Algorithms right now we are not discussing. Okay. Any question up to this? Okay, one more thing I did not tell you. What is the solution path then now in this state space?
A1, A2, A3.
That means this one also and this node also.
Yes.
The green color path here, green color path is a solution path, right? So which is a tree? If I draw it separately, it will look like this. Your solution is this. Right? This is A1, A2, A3. This is A1, A2, A3. This is your final multiplication of A1 with A2 with A3. This is the solution path now, or solution tree, more correct way of defining this is a solution tree. Now it's not a path, it's a tree actually. Okay. Any question up to this? If there is no question, now we will move to second example, Tower of Hanoi problem. All of you knew this problem. Everybody knew this problem, what the problem is.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In this Tower of Hanoi problem, although it looks simple, our aim is to devise an algorithm or write a program to get the solution of this Tower of Hanoi problem. Then you will find out it is a complex problem. But if you use problem reduction technique, then your problem solving becomes easier. So what we will do, we will try to apply this problem reduction technique on this Tower of Hanoi problem, so that easily you can solve it. So what is our aim right now? To represent this problem in the form of AND OR graph. That is the objective. Represent this Tower of Hanoi problem in the form of AND OR graph. So we will first define what the problem is. There are three poles, same size, same dimension. Although I may not draw it properly here, but all these poles, they are same size and dimension. We will call them A, B and C. In this Tower of Hanoi problem, we have given discs of different size which are on this pole A. Every disc has a hole. That disc can be put inside the pole. For example, these are the discs which are inserted on this pole. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 5 discs I have shown here. N number of discs are there. So this black color discs are there which are put inside this pole A. Which you will have to transfer all these discs from pole A to pole C. That is the objective. There are certain constraints which are defined out here. Those constraints are that you have to move one disk at a time. Larger disk can never sit on the smaller disk. Okay, these are the two constraints. So how can you do that? What is your goal? Goal is to transfer all this disk from pole A to pole C. This is the goal. Transfer all this disk. Only one disk at a time you can transfer. You cannot pull all those disks at a time and put that inside the C. No, one disk at a time only can be removed, and at any time only larger disk will be at below the smaller disk, or larger disk can never sit on the smaller disk. How to do this? So there are two constraints. One is one disk at a time, and second is larger disk can never sit on smaller disk. So how to do that? You have to devise an algorithm for this. Think about developing an algorithm for this. So you might have studied this also, that what can we do? Now we have to transfer all disks from A to C. So if you put this first disk, which is the smallest one, on C, what will happen? The second disk you cannot put on C. Okay. So what you want? You want this largest disk on pole C. So to move this largest disk, which is at the bottom, to pole C, you have to remove all this 4 disks above that. Then and then only you can remove this A. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
What we are trying to do, we are trying to develop an algorithm to put all the disks from A to C. If I put this first, because first only can be removed first, I cannot directly remove this last one because they are inserted inside the pole. So if you remove this first, then it will be on either pole B or C. B is given for the temporary disk placement, because otherwise it cannot be done. This pole B can be used as an intermediate pole to do all this. So to do this, our requirement is largest disk will have to put from pole A to pole C. Before that, you cannot remove this largest directly. If there are n disks, n minus 1 disk, you will have to move from A to B. Then and then only you can move this largest one. So this is how we can define the algorithm. What can I do? I will put it in the form of step. Top n minus 1 disk I will move from A to B, pole A to pole B. Then largest will be open. That largest I will have to move from A to
C.
right C. Largest from A to C. Now I can do that. Then all the disks n minus 1 disks which are on B, you will have to move to C. So n minus 1 disk. So A can be used again. A and B can be used for that purpose. N minus 1 disk. Move them to pole C. So you will find out to do this, to implement these steps, if you implement it with recursion, easily you get the solution. A very small piece of code is required to implement this algorithm. Okay, these are the major steps that you are going to perform. Now our job is to put this, represent this in the form of AND/OR graph. I will move all this. So what can I do? I define a function transfer which will have 3 parameters. First parameter will tell you disk, second parameter pole, source pole, and second parameter destination. First parameter disk, second parameter pole, third parameter destination pole. So your objective is now, goal is to move n disk from pole A to pole C. This is how this can be put in. So from above steps, now this can be done by transferring n minus 1 disk from pole A to pole B. This is how this can be written now. Transfer n minus 1 disk from pole A to pole B. But this cannot be done unless and until you transfer largest disk, suppose L denotes largest, from pole A to pole C. Okay, first you do this, transfer largest from A to C, then transfer n minus 1 from A to B. Also you will have to transfer those n minus 1 disk from pole B to pole C. So this and this and this, all these 3 I will have to do. This L denotes here, this L is largest disk. Simple. Same steps now we have put in the form of a graph and or graph. Goal is, this is the goal that we have to achieve. Transfer all n disks from pole C. To do this, for all this task you will have to perform. You will have to perform transfer largest disk from A to C. You will have to transfer n-1 disk from A to B and n-1 disk from B to C. Again, to do this recursively, similar steps you will have to apply repeatedly. Okay, understood? Representation of Tower of Hanoi problem.
Sir,
Yes.
sir,
Yes.
Tn-1 B and C.
Tn-1,
B and C ती स्टेप नहीं समझती.
this one.
Yes.
This, see here, 3 poles we have, pole A, B and C. Initially all disks are on A. Okay. Now what we are saying, that largest disk should be on C. This largest one, this should be on C pole. This step you will have to perform, that means this one. ठीक है?
Yes.
Now come to this. Now what about this n-1 disk on pole A? To move this largest disk from pole A to C, you will have to move this n-1 from A to B first. So you are going to perform this. So therefore this step you are going to perform, transfer n-1 from A to B. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Now n-1 disk, they are on pole B. We don't want them on pole B. We want all this n-1 from B to pole C, because on C only largest disk is there. So transfer n-1, because on C there is a largest disk. We want all disks on pole C. So transfer all those n-1 disks from pole B to pole C, because we want all disks on pole C. Right?
Yes, sir.
Understood, Ankita?
Yes, sir. Then, sir, Tn-1 B is the child of Tn-1 A B.
Okay, don't think that way. Child and parent. Right now we are trying to represent this problem in the form of AND OR graph. Okay, that means we are trying to divide the problem into sub problems only. We are not solving it complete, because recursively you will have to apply. So what we have done out here, we have divided this problem into 3 subtasks. One task is move largest one from A to C. Second task is move n-1 from A to B. How you are going to do that, we are not discussing that part. Then n-1 they are on B, then move them from B to C. How that is different, that we will do later on. Okay. Right now we decomposition. So this problem we have decomposed into 3 sub problems. Now you should think of later on how these sub problems you are going to solve separately, because this n can be any number. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Clear? What is problem
Yes,
decomposition? So OR nodes represent choice of or choice between possible decompositions, and what AND node represents? AND node represents a given decomposition. So this is one important background knowledge we should have to understand AO star search algorithm. Now there is an important step in AO star algorithm, that is cost calculation. Now before moving to cost calculation, let us understand what is why it is required and what is its importance. Cost calculation, because now we are going to use this AO star search algorithm, which is also called as AND OR graph search algorithm, to get the solution, to get the better solution. Now to do that, there are this algorithm has two steps. One is main algorithm. Main algorithm is very similar to the A star kind of search algorithm, that always you are going to select the better path. Okay. But the way you are going to revise the cost, that is little bit different AO star search algorithm. So in this AO star search we have main algorithm. This main algorithm is as that of your best first search algorithm. Only the change is, in this algorithm you are going to call this algorithm cost calculation algorithm, because that is different as that of our previous algorithms. If you compare them with your A star or A star, we don't have, but best for search kind of algorithm. So that's why we will first see why this has to be done. The algorithm that we have discussed so far, they were of this nature. If S is your starting node, if there and their costs are suppose 7, 8, 9, so which node algorithm will select for further expansion?
A node.
A node, right? Because the cost is least cost. Cost is minimum. Okay. Now this tells you that reach the goal A or B. But had it been case like this now, if there is a n type of arc, how many solution paths are there? In this situation, we are not discussing Tower of Hanoi. Two paths are there. First path is from S through A and B. Okay, this is one way you can reach to the goal. Second one is from S,
C.
you can reach to C. If you this is second alternative. If you take first alternative, cost required is, okay, we don't know. If you take second one, we are sure that cost required is SC. What is the cost of this solution right now? 9, right?
9.
What about S now? SAB. Here there is a little bit tricky calculation you will have to perform, because you have to solve A as well as B. To solve A, cost is 7. To solve B, cost is 8. Right? So if you want solution 1, what is the total cost?
15.
15. Correct. That is 7 plus 8. Because this and this. So cost required with this part, if I show it in this way, will be 15. And with this it is 9. So which one is better? This one is better. Okay, so how we have calculated this cost? Cost of A plus cost of B. Okay. Now along with this, now this is the major change. If you compare this algorithm with previous algorithms, that means your cost calculation has changed. Okay, if you go down little bit, for example, from this C, if you go down, that has generated D and E with cost 9 and 10. Cost associated with C now. Simple.
9. 19.
Oh, sorry. Suppose this is N type of arc. Hello.
19.
हाँ बोला बोला ओके मी बोलतो ना 10 मिनिट माझं लेक्चर झाल्यावर बोलतो लेक्चर चालेल So what is the cost?
19.
Correct. So earlier the cost associated with C was 9. Instead of 9, the new cost will be 19. So cost has changed, and because of this, the cost associated with solution path has changed. Earlier it was 9, now it is 19. Which one is better now?
First one.
First part better. Right? So this change you will have to incorporate in your previous algorithm, and that part will be done by this cost calculation module of your AO-star algorithm. So we will understand with this example now. Suppose we have started with node A. Okay, starting node is node A. Now A is not a goal, so we have explored it further, which has generated B, C and D. Cost with corresponding cost associated with B is 3, C is 4 and D is 5, but this arc is an N type of arc. Right? So because of this cost associated, now there are two solution paths through B and C, and another one is through D. Cost associated with B and C is 4 plus 3, that is 7. And what we have done, we are assumed that some cost is uniform cost is required for performing every operation. That means to generate every node, some cost is required. That uniform cost we have assumed that as 1 unit. 1 unit uniform cost to generate every node. For simplicity, same cost we have assumed with every node. ओके ठीक है. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So therefore what we have done, to generate B 1 cost, to generate C 1 unit cost, to generate D 1 unit cost. So cost required to generate a path, to go through the path through B and C will be 4 plus 3 plus 1 unit cost for generating B plus 1 unit cost for generating C, that is 7 plus 2 9 cost with this path. In your book, Rich and Knight book, that 1 unit uniform cost is assumed to generate every node, but for simplicity sometimes while discussing in other books you will find out that cost has been ignored. So same thing, if you make use that as a uniform or ignore, no problem, same thing, that will not change your mechanism. Now another solution path is through node D. Cost associated with D is 5. So cost associated with this path will be 6. 5 plus 1, 1 to generate this D, that is total cost is 6. So which one is better at this stage? Yes,
A to D.
A to D is better. This is a better path now. Okay, therefore this line with arrow is shown here. Okay, so we will go through node D. So explore this D now. If you apply successors on this D, suppose there are two possibilities. So we got this, come to this now, which has generated E and F with cost 4 each. With cost 4 each. Okay. So what will be the total cost associated with this D? Now D cost was 5 earlier. Cost associated with node D was 5. What will be the new cost? First find out the cost associated with this E and F. This is N type of arc.
8 plus 2, 10.
8 plus 2, 10, correct. 4 plus 4, 8, and 1 unit cost for generating E, 1 unit cost for generating F. So 8 plus 2, 10. So therefore cost associated with D, earlier it was 5, now it will change to 10. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So now new cost are,
Yes, sir.
now new cost are, this is 10 and this is 9. So this path has become better. This cost is 9 because 9 is better than 10. So what should we do? What has to be done? You have to explore B as well as C,
C.
because this is AND. So explore B and C, apply successors on B and C. So after applying successor on B, it has generated G and H. Come to this now. That has generated G with cost 5 and H with cost 7. And OR type of arc out here. So what will happen? Cost associated with B. What was that cost? Earlier cost 3.
3.
Okay, B has cost 3. But now G and H has been generated with corresponding cost 5 and 7. Which one is better?
Node G.
G, right. That is cost 5. So cost associated with B will change from 3 to
5 plus 1, 6.
6. Correct.
9.
Therefore, this cost is 6 out here. Cost associated with C is 4. This is N type of arc. Okay. So what will be the new cost now? What was the earlier cost? Cost associated with this BC was 9.
8, 6 plus 4,
So what will be the new cost?
12. 12.
6 plus this 4.
4.
This
6.
cost associated with B is 6. Cost associated with C is 4. Okay. So 6 plus 4, 10 plus 1 each for B and C, that is 12. So instead of 9, this cost will be 12. So this path has cost 12 and through D the cost is 10. Okay. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So which node will be taken for further expansion? Which path is better now?
A to D.
C. C
This
node.
path is better now, right?
Okay.
So therefore, this is AND type of arc. E will be explored as well as F will be explored. Okay, you did not have to explore C further because immediately you come to know that this is better. So you explore this E and E and F, and algorithm will continue further. This is how this A star algorithm performs cost calculations. And since this cost has changed, cost associated with node A will also change. So what we do in this AO star algorithm, we perform cost revision, and in this cost revision you might have noticed cost revision takes place from bottom to the top node. Okay, that is the backward path, backward cost revision that we will have to perform. So this change you are going to incorporate in best first search algorithm, and that algorithm we are going to call that as a AO star search algorithm. So let us now revise what we have discussed today. In this AO star search algorithm, we are going to decompose problem into several sub problems. Some of the arcs will be AND type of arcs, some of the arcs will be of OR type of arcs. So therefore mechanism will change. Always, of course, you will have to find out the best path. But since there are n type of arcs, you will have to perform cost revision accordingly. Okay. So algorithm returns tree as a solution. So solution will be a tree. In cost revision, backward cost calculations you will have to perform. Okay, because depending upon the type of path, so generated node, if they are n type of nodes, or they may be all type of nodes, accordingly cost associated with parent will change. Because of that, cost associated with its own parent will change. Okay, and to carry out this, ultimately some other modifications you will have to incorporate, additions you will have to incorporate in best first search algorithm, that we will see in the next class. But ultimately this algorithm will return you the best solution path, but here your solution will be a tree, and search space will be a AND OR type of search space. Any question up to this? Because actual algorithm we will now start in the next class. We will run out of time otherwise. Any difficulty up to this?
No.
Ujjwal, Fetare Ujjwal. Tejan Badguzer. Okay, if there is no difficulty, we will stop here and continue actual AO star algorithm in the next class.
Okay, sir.